Trinity Stamps has something new to help card makers. It's their Sketch Plan Create card making sketchbook. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and in today's video I'll be sharing this new card making sketchbook with you. So let's flip through and see what is inside this sketchbook. The Trinity Stamps Sketch Plan Create card making sketchbook comes in this beautiful sturdy box, so it would make a great gift for a card maker or obviously for yourself. This is the sketchbook. You can see it's got a beautiful ring binding, that spiral ring binding on the side. It is a laminated cover. In the front pocket there's a plastic ruler and a shape guide, a little template. The first page gives a belongs to page for you, and then it's divided into sections. The A2 sketches has in the beginning different cuts for matting your A2 cards and sizes for those mats. Then you open it up and you can see that you have both either horizontal or vertical ability to sketch. Now here's A7 sketches, same thing, you get the matte panels, and then you have the date, the project for, the color palette, and these A7 are either horizontal or vertical. Here we have mini Slimline, again with the measurements for the mats, and again you can have all of the information next to it, including the color palette, and you have the option again of horizontal or vertical. So there's so many options in here for you to take notes, to leave the colors that you're going to use to create the sketch, to date it, and if it's a project for something or for someone, you can put that on there as well. This is the Slimline, and here on each page you get a vertical and a horizontal, again with your color palette and your notes. And then the last section is a dot style page. That's for you to create any type of sketches. That means circular cards, square cards, whatever you want. And again, this is a sturdy book that you'll be able to keep forever once you create these sketches. Now I'm going to share how my process would look using this sketchbook to create a card. Since I mostly make A2 cards, that's what I started with. I have an A2 vertical card here, and I'm using the template to draw a rectangle in the center of the card. You can use those guidelines to center things or to balance things out with elements on your card. And now I'm drawing ovals. Now, normally I would probably do this in pencil, especially at first, because then I can erase things, but I wanted it to show up nice for you in the video, so I'm doing it in a nice dark pen. So it ends up looking really great, but you could always go over your pencil with pen if you wanted it to stay forever. And I'm drawing little circles, those are embellishments. So now in the notes, I have decided to place what stamp set I'm going to use to create this card. I have the date. I'm using Trinity Stamps Jellyfish Wish stamp set, and I'm going to be stamping the small jellyfish with a rainbow of colors. So here's my sentiment, make a wish jellyfish, and now I will add the jellyfish stamps in a rainbow of colors in the format that I had on my sketch. So I have the sketch next to me. It's outside the camera, but I have it next to me so I can see that I had the largest oval on the left, upper left, and then medium size oval, and then like a little circle on the right. And so these different jellyfish represent those different oval shapes. Next, I have those little circles. So I'm using some enamel dots from Trinity Stamps, and I have those sprinkled around the card. I kind of went with, at first, the layout that I had on the sketch, and then I decided to add some more in, just so I would have at least 2 of each color, and then also add some around the sentiment like I did on the sketch. So I think there's probably more enamel dots than I had, but I decided I liked more on this card. You can see that I kept all of my drawing of the template inside the matted area. So now I'm coloring in that matted area. So I decided to cut down that panel to 4 by 5.25 so I could mat it on some black cardstock. And I think that really helps the colors to pop and give the card a nice completed edge. It's been been a while since I did a mini slimline card, so I just thought I would use the sketchbook to try one of those. Again, I'm using the template and I'm using a large or medium-sized circle. Now that circle will fit nicely in the center of my mini slimline. I'm using a vertical mini slimline, and then I have two parts of the circle on the upper right and bottom left hand corner. This is going to represent a balloon, and that center balloon is actually going to be a shaker. So here I'm using the Trinity Stamps BirthYAY balloon die set, and I grabbed a couple of ink pads to do little swatches of color for my color palette. So this is going to be a blue and yellow card, and there's the sentiment that I drew in because I know that the die set has a yay die that you can cut out for the sentiment. So then I'm describing where I want cardstock to be blue and white, and I have arrows, and that just really gave me a great guideline to how to create this card. So I have a piece of white cardstock that I cut out the balloon from the BirthYAY die set, and then I've cut out two yellow balloons, and I'll adhere those down onto the corners just like I have on the sketch. Then I'll just flip that panel over and cut off the excess so that they will look just like the balloons that are drawn on that mini slimline sketch. Next, I'll use a little bit of liquid adhesive around the open balloon in the center, and I will place a bit of acetate right behind that. So that's creating my shaker window. I also am able to use that thin line that's like an outline of the balloon right inside the window just to create the other color, which is the blue that I wanted. So now I have both those colors on the card already. Next, I'll double up some foam tape so that I can make a rectangle or a square around the balloon. This way, the shaker goodies will fit inside that rectangle. They'll stay in there, and you'll be able to see them through the window of the balloon shaker window on the front. So last but not least, just make sure those foam tapes really connect in the corners together. Otherwise, your shaker goodies are gonna squeak out the sides there, and that can be really frustrating when you've worked so hard on a card. Finally, I'll put some shaker goodies from Trinity Stamps right on a card base that I've decided is going to be blue. And then I can place the foam tapes with the balloons and the window right on top. So I've just placed the shaker goodies in the center on the bottom panel and then adhered everything right on top. And now I can just add some embellishment. So I forgot about that cute little bottom of the balloon there, but I did remember the yay sentiment. So I'm adhering all of those down. And then the balloon die, the BirthYAY balloon die also cuts out all these confettis. Now you could use those inside the shaker if you wanted, but I wanted, since this was such a already clean and simple card, I wanted to use those to decorate and also to have a third pop of color here. So I'm using a little bit of liquid adhesive dotted all around the card, and then an embellishment tool to pick up those little bits of cardstock that I cut out and place those all around the balloons and the yay on this card. I love the colors, how they came together, and I also love that there are 3 balloons on this tiny little mini slimline and a shaker. I wouldn't have been able to fit them all in had I not planned this, and that's why it's really nice to have this sketchbook, because now I can do this again in the future if I want. I don't know about you, but I love this sketchbook. I think it is a great way to store ideas, and be sure to tab or star the ones that you really love so you can recreate them in the future. If you're interested in checking out the sketchbook, I have it linked in my supply list in the YouTube description box below this video. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Sketchbook. Interested in checking out?